Hello, this is Grandma's Gone Gaming. I am bringing you a special video in my channel name, but also my own name, Linda Wingfield. My signature is LW on all of my sketches for the Inktober 2019. I only did the second half, and here are the sketches that I made. The prompt for the 15th day, which was when I started, it was legend. And I decided I'd make a chart that had a legend that explained the bar chart. I asked everybody in the family here, over a period of 10 days, how many days would you eat oatmeal for breakfast? And we found out how many that was. The most that you can see is 10, and you can see by looking at the chart which ones of us would eat oatmeal every day. The rest of us would eat less. And you can see that Ethan and Harry Jr., Harry the Third, Harry Jr.'s daddy, would choose to eat oatmeal fewer times than most of the others. Day 16 was wild. I see that there was a prompt for overgrown on the 14th, but I didn't start then, and I couldn't find anything wild that I really wanted to draw, so I combined the wild and the overgrown. This is an old mine on the side of a mountain. I'm thinking like in Colorado or somewhere like that. The mountain in the photo that I used for inspiration goes way on up. Kind of looks like on the top of this one there's grass at the top of the hill, but there's not in the photo. It's just a lot of rocks that keep going up. There are two buildings there. The one behind is possibly the outhouse or possibly just a storeroom. The one down at the bottom area is probably the living place. The prompt for day 17 was ornament. Now, ornament means something that you can put up somewhere as a decoration. Could hang in a window, could sit on a table, could sit in your yard, whatever you want. Since it was October, I decided on the pumpkin, and while looking for pumpkins for inspiration online, I found this. This was actually an ornament for a piece of stationery, and I enlarged it a little. I wanted to go with the autumn leaves at the bottom, so I used another piece of art to look at for the autumn leaves, added that in, and then put a candle at the top instead of the pumpkin stalk. Day 18 was Misfit. I spent a long time trying to figure out what I wanted to draw, and I finally was looking at pictures of fruits that were different from each other, came up with the thought about comparing apples to oranges. I found the apple first with its apple slice coming out of it, and then I found a similar orange, similar size orange with the orange slice being removed, and I juxtaposed the two of them. There you go. They are Misfits. With day 19 being sling, I did a lot of searching the internet for different types of slings. The sling that you put on your arm if it's injured, the trebuchet, which was used to take down castles and things like that. Most of them were just more complicated than I wanted to use, and I actually didn't want to just like draw an elbow and a sling. Finally decided on the slingback shoe, because shoes are something that I have drawn before and I'm familiar with their form. So there you go. You have a slingback shoe. Day 20 was tread, and I finally decided at long last to do the tread of a good shoe. Now, Skechers are something that my husband wears and my daughter wears, so I'm familiar with the fact that they are very good shoes, and they're really not as expensive as you might think. This was taken from a pair of Skechers that I saw on their catalog that had a really good side picture, as you can see, and then the tread picture, which I turned slightly and put next to it. Now note that Skechers here are Skechers without the T, but it fits. Upon finding that day 21's word was treasure, I decided pretty quickly to do a Minecraft treasure map. Now, I couldn't find a decent picture that I wanted, and I used the Sortex resource pack, so I just went into my game. I found a treasure map that I could make a screenshot of while playing, and got the basics from it in Sortex. It's a pretty easy map to draw, just square with a little bit of scroll handles on it, and I just drew in any old islands and water I needed to look to see about how the water actually looked. The lines on it going horizontally across the page are the water, the white spots are the land. The day 22 prompt was ghost, which I'm not into. I didn't feel like I wanted to draw pictures of ghosts. So I do play Minecraft, as already mentioned, and I decided that the ghast would have to do as a ghost. He is white, and the things at the bottom of his body there are his, tentacles, I suppose. They're not feet. And he gets very angry when you get close to him, tries to shoot you with fireballs, and so he is a dastardly character in Minecraft in the Nether, and this is the vanilla concept picture that was originally made for him in the game. Day 23 was ancient. I looked through tons and tons and tons of things that I might have liked to have drawn. Ancient ruins, I love looking at stuff like that. But I also like looking at ancient houses. This one caught my eye. It was a gorgeous sunset picture, perhaps sunrise, I think sunset. And I decided, though it was in color, that I would print it out in the grayscale, and I used it as my base. And as you can see by the caption, it's not ancient, but it is definitely elderly and abandoned. Day 24 made me dizzy. I looked at all sorts of different things and finally decided on an illusionary type of geometric grid. This is similar to one of the other ones that I found online, but I did my own style on it, and I added the googly eyes. They actually went in first so that I could fill in all of the dark lines after that. It doesn't meet up exactly, but it's close. Day 25 was tasty. My original thought was to simply draw a hamburger. I like hamburgers, they're tasty. And then I saw a picture of this build of a paragraph, and it was parts of a paragraph. I decided to call it parts of a tasty paragraph. It includes the topic sentence, which is your top bun, the supporting details, which are your tomatoes, your lettuce, and your meat, and then you have the colorful vocabulary, which is your relish and all that kind of stuff. I would add cheese in there, and your concluding sentence is your bottom bun. I thought about this one a lot. This is day 26 and it is dark. However, you can't really show dark without having light. That was what made me think. So I finally decided to show a light in the darkness, and that shows how much darker it is without the light. This was completely my own drawing. I got no other incentive, no other inspiration than just drawing a simple light bulb and then filling in dark rays going out from the light bulb. For 27, I needed to draw a coat. I finally decided on drawing a chocolate-coated ice cream cone. I had been thinking of doing the Tasty Freeze logos for Tasty, and that ice cream cone with chocolate all over the outside of it was stuck in my head. So that's what I went with. Chocolate-coated soft ice cream. Nothing much better than that. For ride on the 28th, I settled on a red kayak rider. This is copied from a much larger photograph by my brother Gary in Valdez, Alaska. I'll link to his photo for you. This is a very tiny part of the part of Valdez Bay where this kayak rider was in the middle of white water and ice in the middle of the winter, just out there riding in the cold. For the 29th, the word was injured. There are lots of different ways that we can be injured. Over a lifetime, you experience a lot of them. So I combined a couple of things here. I thought about doing a sling once again, but that had already been taken care of. So I decided on injured spirit and body here. So we have a big ow, and we have red tears dripping out of a damaged eye, which could be mental or it could be physical. That's what I came up with. For the 30th, the word was catch. Now I thought of lots of things that can be catching. You can catch colds, you can catch fish, you can catch balls. I settled on the ball, and this little guy caught my eye as soon as I started searching images on the internet. He was a neat photo, and I caught the gist of him. He has that fantastic look on his face. He's got tousled hair. He has lots and lots of texture, and I really enjoyed drawing him. I hope you like him as well. For the 31st, the last day of October 2019, I captured part of another one of my brother's wonderful photographs, and I'll link to that in the description as well. This is a very ripe red salmonberry, and I'll have to tell you the story about how he got the picture there. I didn't try to get any of the greens in. I don't have a green ink pen, but I did have the red one that I've been working with, and so the berry was pretty much a given. I hope you enjoy it.